All right, let's do this. Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another Narwhals live stream. Let's check the sound to see if it's any better this week. Okay, listening to it in playback, it sounds really clear to me, so I think I finally figured out how to resolve sound issues. In that case, let's get started and do this. I'm going to be taking a look at DAF support today. And on the way towards DAF support, I was noticing a few things here in unique. It's not that bad to support unique with keep equals none for PySpark. We were X-failing that for some reason, but it's really not too bad. I just need to sort out a coverage issue. So I'll do that and then we can get back to def. So I just got a couple of uncovered lines we need to sort out. All right, get out the VS Code. Check I can get the right thing up at the screen. Okay, this looks like it should be right. Let's double check. Yeah, this is it. Okay, nice. So what we're going to do here is we need to take a look at which lines are showing as uncovered. So it's giving us 1432. So that's here. We need some test which passes an invalid value of keep. And then 2695. Okay, for both of them, we just need an invalid version of keep. Let's do that. I'll just make a separate test for that. So test unique invalid keep. We'll just use constructor. So initially this test was a bit complicated. It was checking this as part of another test case. I think it's better if we keep test cases separate. So we'll just do PyTest raises value error, and we want supported. Probably match on R supported. That's probably enough. Check that it's actually the error message we think we're getting, and not just some other random thing. So let's check what happens if we use unique with keep equals cabbage, ignore arg type, is it? Let's see, frame, unique test. No, something's wrong. Or is got cabbage fine in both cases? No, in the lazy case, got. Let's just use a regular expression, capture both the capital and the lowercase g. All right, coverage, and let's push. Code spell. Hey, got Stelios in the chat. Hey Stelios, all good, thanks. How are you? How did the study group go? I saw in the chat that like some interesting topics came up. Right, so we've got this. Let's push, and then while this is running, we can probably take a look at the enum PR, which I think we really want to get in. Where's enum? Here it is. Let's label this as, I think this is a nice feature. That's okay. So, oh, right, okay, so first we need to, let's check there's no merge conflicts. Oh, hi Cam. Thanks for joining. Enum isn't ready. Oh, the pull request isn't ready. Okay, that looks like there's a merge conflict. Sure, well, once it's ready, feel free to ping me. I presume, yeah, I presume this is what you're referring to. You said here study group was great, discussed literal versus enums for API design. That sounds interesting. I kind of wish I'd attended. Kind of feel like I should give myself permission to. Let's just take a look here. So, all right, so it's only after V1 that we let passing categories. The part I wanted to check was, oh right, yeah, so if it's V1, we just always return categorical. Whereas otherwise, if it's ordered, nice, well done. Yeah, looks good. So yeah, once this is ready, I think we can ship it. That would be a really nice change. I'm also curious, Cam, about your experience teaching pandas. Like, do you teach people to use categoricals? Because I've heard from a few teams when I've taught that they've actually don't use categoricals as part of their internal best practices. It just seems like they create so many issues all over the place that they're just not worth whatever memory saving they're supposed to provide. Okay, looks like this is going. Let's take a look at a few other things. Then let's start at this one. There was an approval from Dan with just some minor comments, so maybe I'll just try to quickly address that. Yeah, so ensure type, yeah, that's a good point. Let's do that. You teach categoricals. Do you find that they introduce issues? Right. Let's fetch and merge upstream main. First thing you want to do before starting anything new. Then we're going to go to DuckDB utils assert type. Let's rename this to ensure type. So the way I do this in VS Code is I just select the name of the function that I want to rename, and then I highlight it, I press F2, and then I type the new name I want. And VS Code then magically replaces that in all the right places throughout the code base. it's pretty neat. So yeah, that's a good point. Ensure type is better for now. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Could use function expression, but then it's just getting translated to row number. Yeah, let's just do this and do it. So here in the chart, the main issue I face with categoricals is when you pivot on the resulting column index is a categorical index and complains when you try to mutate it. I'm not entirely sure what you're referring to, but I do remember coming across issues where aggregations with categoricals were just incorrect. And I'll take bad performance, I'll take confusing APIs and everything, but incorrect results are just a level of bug which really scare me. And I think I've come across more incorrect results with categorical than with anything else. Right. Is it just me, or is our CI getting longer? And if so, is there any way to speed it up? 6 minutes? What the hell? How is it taking 6 minutes to run tests? This is it just this job? 5 minutes 45. This is getting a bit silly. Whereas on 3.8, it only takes 46 seconds. So I presume it's something like, I presume it's Spark that's taking so long. It really makes me wonder whether how much I want to use Spark. Okay, cool. Anyway, this is done, so I think we can ship this and then we can get back to Daft support. So I'll just keep this open a little bit and I'll rebase onto it just in case anyone has any comments. So let's go back to VS Code, git checkout Daft, then let's rebase, now let's merge to the split unique test. Yeah, there's a conflict. Let's take a look. Incoming change. Git add -u, so that stages the updated files, and then merge continue. We've got an unused request argument, which we can now delete. Then add u, merge continue. Okay, yeah. So on this branch, I'm so far behind with type checking that for now I'm just skipping it. So a little pre-commit hint tip: if you want to skip one of the pre-commit jobs, you can just use the skip environment variable. Just put like skip equals mypy. Skip the mypy one. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at tests frame unique tests, and let's see if this passes. And here we don't support unique when subset is specified. Yeah, that's a feature request I've opened to def. So until they reply, I think we might just leave that as X failed. Unless they come back to us with some solution. Yeah, for now, let's just X fail it. So unique test. We need to address full subset. So here we're going to say, actually, if subset equals all the columns, we can support this data frame with stuff. Def data frame def unique. So if subset and subset is different from self.columns, and I also, yeah, we can't really support keep equals none or keep. Yeah, let's do that then. If keep equals none, then we can say only keep equals any is supported for def. And the issue. Oops. Why is the URL so strange? It is. Okay, let's go upstream issue. Raise for keep equals none. -N to skip the pre-commit checks because my Pi is too slow. So I know that Firefly should be out at some point. This is supposed to be Meta's fast type checker. Pretty excited to have a fast type checker available. But mid-May, there's also going to be a new type checker from the team that created Rough. So I'm also very excited by that. Would be pretty cool to use both. Be extra safe. All right, so test unique. Yeah, this is the one where we want to X fail if. So here we're going to say if def in stream constructor and keep is none for subset. Actually, this one we want to skip completely for def because the subset is always not all the columns. So here, let's add a request test.fixture request. Let's then also paste the issue. And then requests.apply marker pytest mark dot x fail. Then we've got 3x fails, so those are on the full subset. So these we only want to fail for deft when keep is none. That's the one that they don't support. So if deft in string constructor and keep equals none, then vx fail. Now just one is failing. Which is strange. Oh, invalid subset. Which one's that? Right, so here we need to do some check that this is actually one of their columns. For now, let's say that we can skip this. So depending on the solution that they come up with, we can decide what to do. So if deft in string constructor then vx fail, that's also linked to the issue. Okay, this should be everything. Nice. Now, one thing that comes to mind is for unique, might we be unnecessarily calling self.columns? Yeah, here we're calling rel.columns, which we need to call anyway to create a temporary column name. So this is, I don't think this gets cached. I think we can probably make a variable out of this. Yeah, out of this. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, cool. I'm just going to temporarily push the progress we've made here on def. And then let's check out this unique test. And that's just assign to rel.columns. Actually, we could just use self.columns because then this, we've already got our mechanism for caching it. Yeah, let's do it. Shall we do that? I think yeah, okay, this is cached at the compliant level, so it's fine. We can do this. So use self.columns instead of rel.columns as that gets cached. Cool. Now we've got an unused variable which we can remove. Don't complain. Okay, just gonna push this and then it might be time to take a little break. All right, let's get back into this. Okay, mic sound coming through quite clear. Glad I think I've finally figured out how to do this. So where were we? Right, we've got this pull request, but something's failing. Oh dear. Oh dear. This is probably because I did something wrong. Right, I deleted something I couldn't actually delete. So here we've got rel. We need to actually assign that self.native. Then what is it? No QAF for 1. Put rel back. So this is one of those situations. F841, where the linter, well, it's doing the right thing. The linter is flagging that this is unused, but because DuckDB allow you to do some wild things, like just querying from the name, from a local variable, this is actually used, but there's no way for any linter to tell that. I kind of wish that they gave us a better way of dealing with this in DuckDB. Oh well. Cool. Yeah, it's gosh, I think it was just unique that was causing issues. But let's unique. Yeah, it's all unique. Okay, cool. So let's get back to Daft. Let's merge. Let's make sure we're up to date. So let's see how far we are with Daft. Let's see how many of the frame tests we can get passing. Oh, okay, we're missing backend version somewhere. Cast. Okay, we've not implemented cast correctly, or not at all yet. So on the next expression, the way we do this in Daft, so Narwhals to native D type, which in Daft requires version and backend version. And then we just call cast. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, results are slightly off. Because concat probably doesn't preserve order. We should fix that. So we've got this. Yeah, let's fix up this test so it doesn't rely on order. I think it's just ordering that's messing up our result, right? The tuples look the same. Okay, so let's see, do we want to keep sed? We've got right, we're doing a vertical concatenation. And we've got the same names. I do have to wonder what's going on here with this constructor. I think it was just to test out some things in the early days of Narwhals. So we can probably, well, the values in C are all unique. We can probably just sort by C. Yeah, do that. Tests frame concat test. Let's start with just polars eager just to get the correct results, and then we can go on to the others. So then if we go back and we use daf, okay, we've got an error but on explode. I think let's skip explode for now. Don't want to think about this one yet, and this is not exactly essential functionality, so let's skip it. Concat diagonal, which they probably don't have. Let's take a look at this. Concat. So can Stelios, I'm just curious, have either of you used that for anything? Right, well, okay, Daft is super picky about concat and they expect them to have exactly the same schema. So that means we should just skip this one. So if any x in string constructor for x in duckdb or what's daft, let's just explain it for now. Then same with all of these explode ones. Let's make sure to add just a bit. Just out of interest, why? Like, were you working with distributed data sets that had different types? Like my impression, and I've not looked at it a ton, but my impression is that Daft is solving a fairly niche problem. Like they're trying to solve some fairly niche problem and to solve it well. Oh yeah, broadcasting isn't supported for Daft, so we can skip that one. Not yet, at least. Okay. In string constructor. Curiosity. That's a good reason to do things. Okay, so they don't have drop nulls, but they do have drop null. Hopefully, okay, they've got calls instead of subset, so we might be able to just pass those like this. So if subset and otherwise we just return it like this. Let's take a look. Right, horizontal concat, they intentionally don't support. So we're not supporting horizontal. Yeah, we don't support horizontal concat broadly. That's an interesting one. If any x in string constructor for x in duckdb by Spark, or what's the other one, Daft? We need to open an issue about this. So I think we need to disallow horizontal concat. For lazy frames, because how can we possibly ensure how the frames get aligned horizontally? If you want to join frames horizontally, you need to do a join. For lazy frames, you can't just use concat. So disallow concat how equals horizontal for lazy frames. Yeah, we shouldn't allow this operation at all, given that row order is undefined. And I'd say that this is one of the blockers for v2. But we can probably try to address that now first. Horizontal concatenation. Tentative date sometime in 2025. Definitely end of 25, but who knows when in 25 exactly. So, work in progress, best commit message ever. Then let's disallow lazy horizontal cat. So def cat. Much missing rows. This is only supported when all inputs are eager data frames. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, validate laziness. This is probably the first thing we want to do. So if there's no items, then we raise because there's no items to concatenate. That looks good. Then we make a list out of the items, sure. Then we need to validate the laziness. This should probably return yeah, maybe we don't need that. We can just say then, if is instance first item data frame lazy frame and how equals horizontal, then we can just raise horizontal concatenation is not supported for lazy frames. Please join and then we can probably just leave a hint advising to try using a join instead. So hint, you may want to use join instead. Raise, maybe this should be an invalid operation. So from Narwhals start exceptions, import invalid operation error. Yeah, then let's go into concat test, and then where we've got the horizontal one, this can just be eager. So that means we can get rid of these X fails for PySpark and .bb. To use F2 here to do the renaming so that VS Code renames it in all the places automatically for me. It would if it didn't get stuck. Oops. Structure eager, and we also need to import that. I'd say that we can also just get rid of the lazy. Now equals horizontal. Yeah. It makes me wonder, is there a... Ooh, we can probably do this statically. So we've got an iterable. So in the case of lazy frames, we can't have horizontal. So we can remove that, just vertical. And if you don't know, yeah, we can leave both. So in fact, now, if we were to put the .lazy back, would this now get flagged? Like, I would have thought that maybe one of the overloads would detect this as being invalid. Yeah, like this one. But no. Maybe it matches this one somehow. That's fine. So yeah, let's try running the tests. Frame, cat test. And this also means we might be able to simplify some things in some places. Okay. Okay. Lazy frame is not defined. I'm gonna have to import it here. So from Narwhals, data frame import lazy frame. I presume that's just what we do here inside validate laziness. Yeah, that's okay. Sure thing. What next? Yeah, we can probably then simplify some things here. So here, for arrow, we've got horizontal, vertical, diagonal. In the compliant case, which makes no assumption about... Yeah, we might need to make a separate eager and lazy one. Okay, so for task, we can remove horizontal. Similarly, for duckdb, pandas like we need to keep it, polars, keep it, and a spark like, we can remove it. And I presume that now pywrite is going to get cross with us. Well, I never. Nice. Why doesn't it get cross with us? So is there such a thing as... Yeah, I think we need to... Yeah, we might need to make an eager namespace function. So eager data frame T. Well, I think it's fine. Just gonna try running my Py. But to be honest, if the type checker isn't shouting at us, then do we even need to change it? Okay, right, yeah, we do. Okay, interesting. I feel like people are sometimes a bit too harsh on my Py. They say that it's slow and everything, and I don't disagree, but also it's fairly robust. It finds more things than others. In which case, let's yeah, let's make an eager concat and then a lazy concat. So the eager one should support horizontal, vertical, and diagonal, whereas the lazy one should not have horizontal. Let's see if now my Py is any happier. Uh, right, compliant. This should be eager data frame T, and likewise the return type. Yeah, the type annotations in Narwhals are getting more and more complicated, but that's not a bad thing. Oh, nice. Nice. It's flagging that we don't need this one. If power equals horizontal, it's just not supported. This gets validated earlier, so we can just remove it. Wonderful. Love this. Similarly in DuckDB, we can remove that. And in Dusk, this is wonderful. Yeah, it should never have been supported. I say we just hard break it. So feed disallow how equals horizontal for lazy concat. Right, cool. So now MyPy is actually flagging this. We do, in fact, need to put eager only equals true. Run bracket. Yeah. Wonderful. It's nice when things come together. Yeah, let's ship it. Great, Dan was looking at concat at around the same time that we were. Two, 340. Yep. Nice, okay. Always satisfying when a PR deletes more code than it introduces. It is kind of nice to work on a new backend because then it kind of forces you to revisit existing parts of the API and ask yourself whether they're really necessary. Oh, nice. Nice. Are we sure about this though? Maybe I'll just link into it. Yes. Are we sure about this though? It's nice. I was taking a look at cat 2, noticed that we should be disallowing horizontal concatenation for lazy frames. In light of that, is the simplification here still valid? Why are we getting test failures? Because of a stupid names that doc strings be aligned. I don't know why I'm calling it a stupid check and getting cross, because I introduced the check. Nonetheless, well, if I don't get cross with myself, who am I going to get cross with? Okay, Let's update the stable API doc string and then push. Okay, pushed. B. Yep, I'll be right back. Okay, let's get back to it. Also, I might have forgotten to turn off my mic there, so sorry for some bouzouki practice. Not sure if it came through. Okay, here we are. Let's get back to this. Do it. Okay, I got some missing coverage. Which is beautiful. That's way too kind. Okay, we've got Narwhals functions 195. Yeah, I was trying to work on a song called Lark in the Morning. We still need a test for invalid cat. So cat test horizontal. Yeah, just do that here. So invalid operation error. So from Narwhals dot exceptions import invalid operation error, and then let's say df left dot lazy how equals horizontal. Yeah, this is fine. Oh, they've got union by name. Because this is kind of like a diagonal concat. This might be all we need, to be honest. Check that. Coverage, let's push. So just going back to the code, how did we do that? So let's go back here to def. And then let's merge disallow lazy horizontal concat. And then here we can just accept the incoming change. We don't need to test something which isn't supported. Nice. One day. some typing issues, but let's just ignore them for now. And let's see how far we are. So namespace, where's the... So now we don't need to worry about horizontal. We'll just worry about vertical and diagonal. Can get rid of that. Diagonal. For diagonal, that's where I think we might be able to use this union by all. Yeah, this could come in handy there. Skip equals mypy, commit, simplify. Now, what's the story? Yeah, when then otherwise we still need to just get on with it. So done that. Let's see, what else do we got? Tests frame, concat test. Does this one now all pass? Yes. But I kind of want to try to do this diagonal concat. That would be pretty nice. Diagonal. So how do we do this for Spark? So let's go to namespace as Spark. If it's diagonal, we just do union by name. Okay, let's see if this works. So first, in the test, let's remove def from the failing ones. Then let's go to the def namespace. And here, let's say, well, if it is diagonal, then we're going to return I need to import def dataframe. Hope this doesn't hope this doesn't result in a circular import. And in def, it's union. What's the difference between union by name and union all by name? Well, the fact that we've got union by name at the moment kind of suggests that that's probably the equivalent, but we should try to break this. Then here we need to pass, in Spark we have to pass allow missing columns equals true. Don't think we need, well, I don't know. We don't have that argument here, so let's just try not passing it. And let's see what happens. Let's see if we can get rid of the squigglies. At least let this initialization work. What are we missing? So backend version and version. Yeah, this should be okay. Oh, right, wait, we need to do this at the compliant level, right? How do we do this for Spark? Namespace. DFs, where DFs Okay, yeah, we need to make this DFs. Yeah, so native items. Yeah. Okay. Looks like this might have worked. We've just got an ordering error in the result, but that's expected. We can resolve that. I don't know why this is still red. But whatever. Not sure I want to go. Let's go to the test and fix it up. We need to sort out the MyPy later anyway. Let's sort by A. Yes, we did it. Support diagonal concatenation for Daft. Okay, but I'm a little worried that we don't have sufficient coverage. So let's try to break things. So tests, concat test. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go inside concat for spark-like, and where's the diagonal one? So I think in PySpark you've not just got union by name, but you've got others. PySpark union by name. And well, let's just try setting this to false, and let's see if the tests fail. I want the tests to fail here. Like if I'm changing my source code and the tests don't fail, that's a bad sign. Fortunately, they fail. Great. Next, instead of union by name, can we do union all? And let's get rid of allow missing columns. Let's see. And now it fails. Okay, cool. Nice. Nice. Let's give ourselves a pat on the back. We've got a robust test suite. But how robust is it really? Let's go back to Daft, and instead of union by name, let's try using union all by name. Because it's nice that this passes, but I'm happier if it doesn't have to pass. I'm happier if it only passes using the way we've written it, and that writing it any other way would fail. No, union all by name also passes. So what exactly is the difference? I'm not sure I get it. So union by name, this to me just looks exactly like a horizontal concatenation. So we've got x, 1, 2, y, 4, 5, w, 9, 10. So that's this part. The other one gives us 6, 7, and AB. And we put them one on top of the other, and anything mismatched ends up being none. Okay, easy. Whereas union all by name, so the first one is 1, 2, 4, 5, 9, 10, sure, and the second one is 6, 6, 7, 7. This looks the same. What's the difference? Not sure I get it. So, okay, this is the example that they showed in their docs. And if instead of union all by name, we just did union by name, no way. It just dedupes the result. Okay, so let's do this in 2 stages. Let's first write a test which would fail for daft using union all by name. And then let's see what happens with SQL, with Spark. Okay, let's test. Data 2, let's just add a duplicate. And what I would expect to happen is that we'd get an extra 200 here, get an extra none here, and we'd get an extra Y here. Let's take a look. Tests frame concat test. Okay, this passes everywhere. And with daft, it currently passes, but if we just did union by name, then it wouldn't. We did it, folks. We did it. We found the correct method to use. Slightly confusing, I guess, that in daft, union all by name corresponds to what in Spark is just union by name. But whatever. They're free to call their functions however they want. Support diagonal concatenation. Cool, nice, happy with that. It's probably time for a little break. No, not yet. What am I doing, skiving off of work? But we can probably see if we can support this for DuckDB now. So, concat test. So daft is closer to SQL naming. Union in SQL does deduplicate, really, and union all keeps duplicates. The by name likely means that it aligns the columns prior to perform the stacking. Ah, interesting, thanks. Which I guess raises the question, why does PySpark just have union by name? Yeah, why is it that in PySpark union by name doesn't deduplicate? Because in Spark, like this is what we get from spark.sql. So I would have expected that to be fairly aligned with SQL. Or not. Yeah, let's rebase off of this branch. Disallow lazy horizontal concat. Let's make a branch called diagonal duck. That's a great name for a branch name. So concat test. And let's put the duplicates back. Yeah. Then let's see if we can remove this for DuckDB. So it's going to namespace ducks. And then here let's make native items. Then we're going to say if how equals diagonal, then does DuckDB have why isn't this auto-completing? Oh, iterable, not sequence, okay. Let's make this a list for a second. Do they have union? They've got union, but I presume this isn't union all. Like it would deduplicate based on what Cam has said in the chat. Let's check that. So rel.union rel. Is there like a union by name? So we've got rel1. Let's try making a separate one in which we just call these things differently, like C and D. Oh wow, so in DuckDB, union only cares about the positions and not about the names. Do we have a union by name? No. DuckDB union by name? Union all by name? Yeah, okay, it does exist. So we're going to have to go down to the SQL level, unfortunately, because it looks like they don't have this in their Python API. So I might have to raise yet another feature request to them. How? Not totally sure. Where's the Python one? Yeah, there's nothing like that. So my concern is that here we've got just some lists. How are we going to get that list comprehension here into SQL? Can we pass these as parameters, I wonder? So rel.union rel1. What if we do duckdb.sql rel? So let's do select star from rel union rel1. No. Oh, it's just select one from the other. Does it work to just do rel u? No. Select star from rel union select star from rel1. Okay, nice, got this. Does it work if we put in a question mark. And then here we pass in parameters equals params. No. Well, what we could do, I think you can like register a table or something in DuckDB. Maybe we can just drop this for now. And let's just open an issue request on the side. I don't think this is crucial functionality, to be honest. So just gonna open a feature request to them and hopefully they can consider it. So passing a table name in most SQL databases is not permitted. Okay, parameters are only for values. Sure, yeah, I was hoping that DuckDB might allow it. They have some way of allowing this, do they? That would be good. But maybe if I just open the request, then somebody will tell me how to do it. Let's just check it's not happened before. Nope. So union all by name in Python API. So why do you want a feature to support DuckDB in Narwhals and allow people to build dataframe agnostic tools which support Narwhals? Let's do a bit of publicity. Allow people to create tools which support multiple libraries, including DuckDB. Currently, there is union, but currently it's union, but not union all by name. Yeah, let's see what they say. Right then, time for another little break. Until Okay then, final stretch. Final one. Last one. Let's do this. Just 12 minutes. Okay, right, so yeah, just a little bit of discussion here on the issue tracker on the Narwhals side. Maybe I should explain why we need to disallow concat for horizontal for lazy frames. So here we are. So there is a PR when it was added to polars, and I think it's fair enough that polars supports this, but I don't think we should. Well, the polars row order is at least defined, even in the lazy case, and it's always preserved across dataframe.select, dataframe.with columns operations, whereas in SQL it's undefined. If we were to join the tables A, 1, 2, 3, B, 4, 5, 6, and C, let's put another few numbers, 2, 1, 3, D, 4, 2, 5, horizontally, then what should the output be? Let's make it a bit shorter just to simplify it. Let's just have a single column on the right. Should it be, let's show the two options. A, 1, 2, B, 4, 5, C, 2, 1. Or should it be with C the other way around? And there's nobody to tell us which one is right and which one isn't. If the input frames don't have a defined row order, then it's not defined which rows should get lined up when constructing the result. Let's just put an or here to make it clear that it's one or the other. Yeah, I hope this is clear. I know Cam has done a lot of teaching around SQL, so if it's not, or if I'm wrong, then yeah, please do correct me. Like when making this Narwhals.lazy frame, I'm really trying to think as much as possible that this should map directly onto the relational model. So we don't have rows, we've got unordered tuples. I think in the original relational model, maybe we even have unordered sets of tuples. But in practice, everyone allows duplicates. So with, like in SQL, you allow duplicates. So we've got unordered bags of tuples. I think that's the correct terminology. Yeah, please do correct me if that's not correct. Right, let's see if there's any comment from Dan on that one. On the refactor, I'll need to think. Okay, yeah, let's leave that with him. Let's see what he says. In the meantime, we can get back to Daft. So let's see how far we've got. Tests frame, constructors equals Daft. Yeah, let's see what's left. Sounds about right to me. Cool, thanks. Sort nulls. What's the issue here? Oh, B descending. Yeah, this look. We've got an explicit sort here. I would have expected this to be right. Why isn't it? How strange. Okay, let's try just running this test in isolation. And okay, let's put a breakpoint. That's what I always do when I can't figure something out. So we've got df to native. Let's try just running the sort there on that data frame directly. So in def, got too many data frame files. But it's quite nice to see how far things have come. So dot sort. So we're gonna sort by B. Desc equals true, and the nulls first. We're gonna say so I want nulls last to be true, so nulls first is going to be false. What? This is odd, isn't it? Is it a thing about lists versus non-lists? No, it's not that. Is it the nulls first one? Oh gosh. So nulls first equals true, that looks correct, but nulls first equals false. Wow. Okay, this looks like a bug. Okay, so let's make sure we've actually got the latest version of Daft installed. It doesn't look like UV downloaded anything new, so I think we do indeed have the latest version of Daft. Okay. Right, let's make a bug report. So, import Daft. Oh, here I was taking a look at static frame. Some project that started a while ago that's supposed to be like data frames, but they're generic over their columns and their types. Yeah, Cam Studios, have either of you taken a look at static frame? Just really curious. My impression is that it's not really had a lot of traction, but I do like the idea. I just think in practice it's often untractable to know the resulting schema from all operations, so it just ends up being a bit annoying. Like, as much as I like static typing, not all validation belongs in should be done statically. Like, it's fine for some things to happen at runtime, I think. Or maybe I'm just being a dinosaur. Not sure. So, daft from pydict go, and the input is going to be here. Data, and then print df dot sort b descending equals true, and nulls first equals false. Yeah, this is crazy. I haven't encountered it actually. No way. I don't believe you. I thought you'd encountered everything. Anyway, here it. This is the library I'm referring to. It just came up today in the Polar's issue tracker. Immutable and statically typable data frames with runtime type and data validation. It's just interesting to see, like, there were just so many attempts at making better versions of pandas. then the one that kind of stuck around seems to have been pandas, which is probably the one that deviated the most from pandas API. But even here, it looks like they're deviating quite a bit. .relabel. Well, if there's one lesson we can take from this, it's that if you want to make a successful data frame, then you probably want to invest time into making a nice retro. It's nice that they've got the data types, but at the bottom. Anyway, yeah, let's report this to DAF. If it's built on top of pandas, I can't believe that it's completely immutable. Is it built on top of? It's not clear to me. Functionality relies only on NumPy and team maintained the extensions. But, oh right, so core static frame does not require pandas, it only requires NumPy. But even then, if it's built on NumPy, I'm also not sure I believe the completely immutable part. Okay, anyway, it looks like they've been keeping it up to date. They support NumPy greater than version 2, and it's been going on for a while, 4 years ago, at least 4 years ago. I'm impressed. Like, it's very easy to start things and then give them up, but it looks like they've kept going. Okay, let's report this. And as always, I'm going to add spotted in Narwhals. See if this is reported already. It doesn't look like this. Got the drop now. Cool. Thanks, Cam. All the best. Incorrect results from dataframe.sort. Descending equals true. Nulls first equals false. Results. So the code below produces this expected. Okay. So ending use pose for the expected. Components Python. I wanted to add a spotted in Narwhals. Give ourselves a bit of publicity. Cool, that's it for today. Thanks, Cam and Stelios, for joining. Hope you learned something useful. Thanks for your inputs. So, yeah, have a good one.